before I went into my business, I was at the end of, I worked for a company and I learned a lot and it was great. I also had a drug problem.
While you were working there?
Yeah. And so simultaneously, I got sober and started Steve Madden. And that was like 1990.
Because I read that...
And that was really
there's all
amazing time in my life. Really just amazing, to be able to do those things.
I read something that said Steve Madden started his business with $1,100. Mm-hmm. And you read that about wealthy entrepreneurs such as yourself, and you think,
bullshit.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Tell the truth.
I did. I really did. And it was a circumstance where I had, two older guys, these old Italian guys, had this factory in Brooklyn. And they said, look, we'll make the shoes, you just design them and sell them. And we'll make them and it'll be our business and we'll just pay you a commission. So that's how I kind of started.
Yeah, that's the juicy stuff.
That's how I started. So I started with $1,100, put it in the bank, went into business, and that's really the truth. It was $1,100. It was in the Atlantic Bank of New York, on 35th Street and 6th Avenue. I opened an account. It's a Greek bank, actually. And
can I ask what the deal was with the factory? How much the commission was?
It was 10%. I said, okay, your business, you own it. We're going to call it Steve Madden. You ship $100,000. I want $10,000. No questions asked. I want 10%, everything. I want it on Friday. No story. And so what happened was it became a little successful. I took all the money. I made all the money. They went out of business. And then I opened my own factory. I don't mean to be so cold-blooded, but that's more or less what happened.
That doesn't sound cold-blooded to me.
That's sort of what happened. And then I started and then...
Well, how'd they go out of business?
Well, because I made all the money.
But you only got 10%, right?
Yeah, but 10% was the profit. So,
All right, so they're out of here.
Very good. They're out.
All right, so they're out of here.
Nice fellas. They're in heaven now. But...
Do you still speak to them?
I don't... Well, they're gone. They're dead. It was a long time. It was 30 years ago. They were old then.
Well, rest in peace.
But dead. Rest in peace. They were wonderful guys. But... So the journey is, I'll give you a little...
Give it to me.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to you. So we started, and, I had a little feel. I was doing some interesting things. It was sort of like, there was nobody that was kind of doing very young shoes. It was all like old guys. You know what I mean? And so I sort of came along and I was sort of, young guy with young ideas, irreverent, and I was able to make, a little noise. I got a job in high school, and it was women's shoes. It was mostly women's shoes. There were some men's shoes too. But yeah, women's shoes. And then you get to meet women. You meet women, you sell shoes. It's a good job for a young man.
Well, how about this?
Yeah.
If you never sold women's shoes, what do you think you'd be doing?
Oh, my God. That's such a good question. I wanted to be, in show business, but I didn't want to be an actor. I wanted to be in the business. I always identified with that, sort of putting together something creative. I always sort of identified with that, like the whole package. It's sort of like an executive producer now. And I always, I used to read books as a kid about the making of movies. And I remember reading about the guy that created Gone with the Wind. Mm-hmm. And his name was David Selznick. Okay? And, he didn't direct it. He didn't write it. He didn't act in it.
But he put it together.
He made it. It was his baby. He created the whole package. And so I always identified with that. That's what I wanted to do. And so I started off making shoes, but that's sort of the way I drive my business today.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.